In this video, we will learn all about bar graphs, also called bar charts. Bar graphs are used to display categorical data. That is, data that you have that is broken down into categories. The categories could be numerical, but more often they are qualitative, like something like colors or different places, like different states, something like that. When making a bar graph, you'll have different bars for each of your categories, and the length of the bar will correspond to the value for that category or the frequency of that category. The bars can be horizontal or vertical depending on your preference. For example, we could make a bar graph for the number of students in different electives or extracurriculars at your school. The different extracurriculars would be your categories, and the different heights of the bars would be based on how many students are in each of those. So if you want to make a bar graph, you should first set up your axes. You're really going to be working in one quadrant. Then decide on your categories. So in this case, let's just pick 3 categories: sports, music, and drama. Then you need to know how many people fit into each category. So let's say we had sports was 20 people, music was 15 people, and drama was 10 people, just for an example. So once you see what your numbers are, you can scale your y-axis accordingly. So we would need to go up to about 20. So we can go by 5s. And then you want to make a different bar for each of your categories. So for sports, we need to go up to 20. So we're going to make a bar that goes up to 20. One important thing is that your bars should not touch, and all of the bars should be the same width. So then for music, we're going up to 15. Notice how the 2 bars are not touching, and they're approximately the same width. And then for drama, we'd go up to 10. So this is a basic example of a bar graph. Again, as I've said, the 2 most important things is that the widths of all of your bars are the same, and there has to be a space between the bars. This is because the data is categorical, and it doesn't really make sense to think about sports and music being connected. It's almost as if they're in different graphs altogether. They're representing completely different things, but we just want to compare the numbers for each of those 3 things. But it's not a continuous set of data. The last thing that you should do is label your axes with what they represent. So we would say our x-axis is our extracurriculars, and our y-axis is the number of students. Now you could have made this bar graph completely flipped, and it would really be up to you if you wanted to do that. It would just mean that you're switching where your frequencies, the number of students were, and where the extracurriculars were. So it would look like this, and we would have number of students here, and the extracurriculars here. And we would have just had sports, music, drama, and it would have looked, something like this. So you'll see bar graphs both ways, and it's really up to you how you want to make them. There's no real preferred method.